this opening right there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then right, left, you'll see. Keep the momentum. The grass is relatively tall, and because of the drag, you got to keep the throttle in there to just keep it moving.
Okay.
See that cone over there?
I got it.
Left and right. Perfect. While you're taxiing, focus on taxiing the aircraft. I'm going to clear up the airplane and do your after landing checklist. And you can say Bayport traffic, Luscombe traffic, clear runway 18. Taxi back for takeoff 18. Gotcha.
Bayport traffic, Luscombe 77927 is clear of runway 18. Taxi back for departure from runway 18. Bayport traffic.
What'd you think? It's kind of caught you by surprise.
Yeah, it did.
The main thing is when you actually touch down and tend to come right back up, don't oscillate and over control. When you oscillate and over control, by the time you realize and responds to the airplane coming up, you push the stick forward. You push the stick forward, you're going to hit the ground faster. By the time you realize you bounce, you go, and then you're creating this, like gets worse and worse. So the main thing to do at that point is if you hit hard, keep that back stick, keep that back pressure on the stick, and hold that airplane right in ground effect until it just sinks in and loses all the airspeed, and then you can just...
Alright, so keep it back?
Yeah, hold that pitch and just let it sink in there.
Okay.
Much easier.
And where should my RPMs be?
I don't even look over there. This is like, you're landing, why would you have power in there? Yeah.
I know some of the bigger planes, you need to have a little bit of power in there.
Yeah, this is like a glider with a 60 horsepower engine in it, so it's like barely any power.
Are we going to cross?
Yep, we're going to basically go right and go across and then come back for takeoff. Gotcha.
Bayport traffic, Luscombe 77927 is crossing the field to the departure end of runway 18. Bayport traffic.
Straight across and make a left, you're good.
Clear right, clear left, clear right.
And then a left turn. Now when you're coming down here on the left, stay a little bit left of the taxi. I don't want trees. Never get too close to the trees. And after landing checklist is complete, so you're ready for another takeoff. Gotcha.
We'll do the run-up again, or just gonna...
No, I do a run-up once a day.
Okay.
You can do as many run-ups as you want, but I do a run-up once a day. No matter what airplane I fly, I do a good run-up once in the morning, and that's it. I fly it all day, no problem. The next day, when it's parked for the night, and you may want to consider doing another run-up. But as long as the engine's warm and ready to go in the morning, it should run all
full length or from here?
Always full length. Never leave any runway behind you.
Gotcha.
And Bayport traffic, Luscombe traffic, takeoff 18, Bayport.
Bayport traffic, Luscombe 77927, taking off from runway 18. Bayport traffic.
Excellent. Your choice, you can come into a complete stop and do a static takeoff, or as you're turning with the rudder, you can just keep it rolling and keep the momentum. You can gain a little bit more.
We'll do the roll.
Yep.
But it didn't work out too well.
The grass is tall, so it takes a lot of drag. That's why we gotta get up quickly. Full throttle?
Full throttle.
All the way in. Don't be shy. All the way in within 3 to 5 seconds. Stick forward, get that tail up.
Stick forward.
Right rudder, and hold that pitch attitude. Right there, hold that pitch attitude. Very nice. Just like so. It's gonna come off the ground effect.
Got it.
Nice and easy. Full throttle.
Full throttle.
And stay in ground effect, accelerate to VY, and then come up.
Which is VY?
About 70.
Gotcha.
It looks like a right crosswind, so you want to crab right into the wind. Very nice. Excellent work. Everybody's watching you now. I recommend with these trees to turn right into the wind now, which is about 20 degrees to the right. There you go. Straight up. When you turn into the wind, you gain a little bit of lift and more. Hey, check the train. That's the Montauk train. You see that too? Yep.
That's right.
You gain a little bit more climb. Maybe I'll show you one takeoff where you can actually maximize the runway length to your advantage and gain as much, you know, lift from ground effect to the point where you're going to be airborne halfway down the runway.
Really?
And, you know, have like 200-300 feet at a departure end. It's just finesse, and, you know, it takes quite a bit of effort. And it's practice. It's all about practice, practice, practice. Okay, this was the first landing, and we're going for number 2.
Roger. Want to say at 600 or 500?
500 is the pattern altitude. Stay right below the exclusion, which is 700 here. Nice lift.
Gotcha.
Keep you out of trouble.
Keep it at 19?
Yep. 1900, trim for 1900 and 90 miles an hour. Feel the crosswind, right?
Yeah,
see how the wind's pushing us to the east? Very noticeable.
Bayport traffic, Luscombe 77927 is following the river towards the right downwind for runway 18, Bayport traffic.
Your traffic pattern was beautiful. You kept it too wide.
Okay.
You want to keep it a little bit tighter.
Okay.
And on final, you're a little bit too fast and a little bit too high. If you can keep it slower at about 70 miles an hour, slowing down to 60 on short final, you wouldn't have that tendency to drop. You know, not really drop as much as coming in fast where the main landing gear touches down and bounces you back up in the air.
So do you say this is a good spot to turn? Or follow the river, actually?
I would actually follow the river and then right on the beam point, break it off to the left and then keep it a little bit wider. This way you don't fly over those houses.
Roger.
Bayport traffic, Luscombe 77927, centering the downwind for runway 18, Bayport traffic.
That's a good time now. Break it off to the left. Keep it a little bit tighter. Don't have to go too close to sunrise.
Okay.
That's your beam point. Throttle back.
Throttle back to 15.
And start coming down. And again, the downwind, the steepest bank. What's your speed? Needs to be about 80 miles an hour here. Throttle back up, 80 miles an hour here. Alright, looks like you're good now. Now you can get back to your normal flight path. All the way back, still high and fast, all the way back to idle. All the way back to idle. There you go.
it. Hold it.
And ease it back nice and easy. Very nice. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, this is a perfect wheel landing. Right rudder? Right stick for the wind. Not too much right rudder. And let that tail sink in, and then it's going to give you much more directional control. As soon as that tail will sink in there, it's going to give you much more directional control. This was all you, okay?
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I helped you a little bit with the rudder on the rollout, but the actual wheel landing touchdown was all you.
Good. Thank you.
When you master the wheel landing, we're going to do maybe a three-pointer. But again, it's up to you, you know? This was landing number 2.
Yeah, I feel I can do it, I'll do it.
Yeah, it's totally up to you. I mean, we can do 3, 4. It's just you run the show, whatever you're comfortable with. You can see the progress there. You can see that you're advancing. You kind of get the feel for the aircraft.
What I do there on base is kind of chopped.
The base, what happened, instead of lowering the nose and maintain 90 to 80 miles an hour, you kind of kept that back stick pressure and you slow down to 60 miles an hour.
Bayport traffic, Luscombe 77927 is clear of runway 18, taxiing to the departure end of runway 18, Bayport traffic.
I'm sorry.
I'll be off for a second. Hey, what's going on, brother? Everything good. Doing some yellow endorsement. How about you, brother? Okay, should be landing in about an hour. I'll give you a buzz.
Bayport traffic, Luscombe 77927 is crossing runway 18, Bayport traffic.
So, this is the target pattern on this aircraft. It's 90 miles an hour on the downwind.
Okay.
Beam your touchdown point. I want you to throttle back 1500.
Okay.
And start coming down. There's a tendency to throttle back and hold that back stick. Remember, we're coming in for landing, so on a beam point, throttle back and come down. So power down, go down.
Okay, cool.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah, it is.
And start coming down. As you're starting to come down, you got to maintain the speed because the aircraft is trimmed for that certain airspeed.
Okay. So you want me to, what's a good target speed I should be looking at there?
90 miles an hour on the downwind, 80 miles an hour on the base, 70 miles an hour on the final, and then short final you can slow down to 60 and just kind of get preparation for touchdown. And don't forget, the wind is coming from the south-southwest, so it's going to slow you down. It's going to make your ground speed much slower.
Gotcha.
Which will entitle you to touchdown slower, so.
How's my control on the pedals and?
Very good. I see no problems, no issues at all.
Okay.
Doing a wonderful job. When you do well after 3-4, maybe we can show you a nice wheelie.
Sure. Let's do it.
This is rush hour here, by the way.
It's terrible. Are you coming to the barbecue here tomorrow?
You know, I don't know what the schedule's going to be like. I have one lesson scheduled at 10 o'clock. And how long, this guy, you never know how long he's going to end up, so.
Bayport traffic, Luscombe 77927 is taking the active runway 18, Bayport traffic.
So you don't know how long he'll take, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, you know, hell, if I can come up here and hang out, why not? Let me show you how the best way to do that turn, and then I'll let you have the control. My controls?
Your controls.
You made the radio call?
I did.
Excellent. Keep the momentum. It's so much more fun when you keep it moving.
Gotcha.
Your controls. Enjoy.
My controls. Woohoo. Okay, got it.
Got it?
Yep.
I'm helping you a little bit.
Yep. My controls.
Not too much stick forward, just about right there. Hold that pitch attitude right there. Very nice. Let it lift off too much forward. There you go. Stay ground effect. And 80 miles an hour. Come back up. Look at the difference. We basically, within 10 to 20 feet of the departure end of the runway, we had max power. Turn right into the wind, right rudder, and left stick right there. Perfect. We had max power, and we're already cruising at 10 miles an hour. Takeoff 3. Yep, that's going for 3 and coming in for number 3rd landing.
Now, when you fly this plane by yourself, how do you start it?
It's the solo procedure. You're going to have 3 tie downs, wheel chocks, and you're going to do the prime twice, mags verify off, give it 3 turns, and then mags hot or contact, and then you crank it. It ain't going to go nowhere because it's tied down. Everything's running, everything's secure. You throttle back 600 RPM and release all the tie downs and the wheel chocks, jump on the plane and go.
Really? That's nice. Very nice.
Yep. You know, when it started, it didn't have an electrical system back in the 30s. And people were flying it just fine.
Correct.
And no problem. Then they decided to upgrade and put an electric system, put a generator, put a battery and all that, so, and a starter and all that good stuff.
Helicopter?
I doubt he's coming into Bayport. Look to your left. You can see the fuel line right now, and you can see 3/4.
See it?
Okay, so it's a manual fuel gauge. By the way, that's a required indicator for VFR flight. You gotta have it. If you don't have it, you don't have a fuel gauge. You can't fly.
That's 8 tomato flames.
Montauk Airport, pipe.
That's, not too many people know that acronym, by the way.
To your
Supposed to.
Yep. Want me to make a right for 24? Montauk.
Bayport traffic, Luscombe 77927 is following the river for right downwind for runway 18, Bayport traffic.
Right for 24. Roger.
Bayport traffic, Luscombe 77927 is entering the right downwind for runway 18, Bayport traffic.
That's not us. Montauk, pipe was now entering a right downwind for 24, Montauk.
A little bit too low, so maybe that power back up. And you can start turning now, you don't have to wait. Just keep the speed on the turn, because you're going right into a tailwind. See how the wind's pushing you? Yep. Keep that turn in.
back up. Throttle back up. Too low, too slow. Never want to be too low, too slow on this. There you go. Very nice. A bit more crossline. Go controls. There you go. I didn't fight it off enough, huh? this bird will wake you up sometimes. He'll get you going. He'll get you up on your toes. They're like, oh shit, what am I doing now? Just fly. Just keep flying it. Okay. Now, remember, what is the last resort when things get out of control? In terms of aircraft control? It's not working out. The landing sucks. You're all over the freaking place. You're losing directional control. You got nowhere to go. What is the magic joker, the magic lifeline? The full power. Full power. Go around. Immediately, full power. Take whatever it takes to maintain control. Now remember, this prop wash, when you're getting full power, you get the prop wash, okay? Because the center line of the aircraft is from the prop to the tail. So as soon as you add full throttle, it's going to get you the prop wash over the rudder, which is going to give you immediately more directional control on the aircraft. Okay. So the lifesaver is actually full power and go around, other than trying to fix something that's broken. Gotcha. And that'll give you another opportunity to perform another landing. Happened to me quite a few times. Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. Especially at the beginning. Yeah, especially at the beginning. And you know, even as an experienced pilot, I think I have over 700 or 800 hours on this airplane, and it still happens where you're going into an airport where you have so much crosswind that you get to the point where you cannot control the airplane. There's not enough rudder to counteract that yaw and that wind pushing on the tail. Sure. And you don't want to lose control of the aircraft, so the only way to do it is just go around and then try it again, in hopes that when you try it again, you don't have as much wind as you had on the first attempt. If you try 3-4 times, well, guess what? It's too much wind. You better go somewhere where you can land into the wind, or find a more, suitable runway. Exactly.
Bayport traffic, Luscombe 77927 is taking the active runway 18 for departure. Bayport traffic.
And that's the landing check complete. Good. Yep. When you put that nose down or stick forward, don't do it too much because you can actually flip forward. So just enough to get the tail up. There you go. Hold that pitch attitude now. Perfect. Right rudder. Right rudder. Right rudder. Right rudder, left stick, and crab into the wind. There you go, right into the wind. Perfect. Maintain that center line. Looks like the wind is dying. You see the wind sock? Yes. I don't know if it's dying or wind shift. Something's happening. the only emergency landing site right there. You see the school?
Got it.
Other than that, there's not much. You'll probably be okay if you hit right between two trees.
Okay.
But other than that, you know, it can be pretty nasty. If you have an engine failure on
Show me
takeoff.
progress, every thousand, show me in progress. Especially here.
Yeah, it's not much. I mean, you can see just the school, the tennis court. I don't know. There's not much. There's nothing. Take off to the north, you got sunrise. So it's a little bit. There was a steerman here trying to take off with a tail end or a wind shift or something and ended up aborting the takeoff and wrecking the airplane.
No
You heard
way,
of it?
really? No, I
Yeah,
didn't
here
know
in
about
Bayport. I think it was about a year ago.
Did not know that.
So you really want to watch out.
Is that right? To the left.
Alright, going for number 4? Or back to Republic? 4, alright, let's do it.
So back to Republic?
No, I was asking if you want to do 4 or back to...
No, we could do 4.
No, fine, let's do number 4.
Bayport traffic, Luscombe 77927 is